And we are underway. Cool. What do we have? About 7 or 8 minutes before the open. And yeah, look at that. Things looking positive on the S&P. I got into a couple of sim positions a little while ago, an hour ago or so. MNQ, that's one. Already moved it into break even. Now it's running. And the oil futures shorting it. And it's kind of moved in my favor a little bit, but not really made the move yet. But anyways, we'll get through these in a minute, and I'll explain what I see in these. Let me see. Get this working. All right, there we go. Yeah, so what I'm looking to trade here, guys, basically are breakouts. I've been talking about this for a little while now. There's only two phases in the market, really, sideways or directional. And if you look at this setup here, this was sideways and then broke out and it's going directional. So trying to catch breakouts in the futures market is what I've been studying lately. And one of the things that makes things break out is a catalyst. You know, if there's some news on it, you're likely to get it to break out and go. And so I've been looking at the news in the last 2 hours or so. I figured we have the Qs are likely to break out, and sure enough, it's gone. And oil is likely on the move. So, and what was the news? Let me see. I was looking at CNBC. There's some news about a semiconductor making a big move, semiconductor company, TSMC. There you go. Lots of earnings, lots of moves, BlackRock in there in that mix as well. So that's that. And the oil news was to do with Iran and the president talking about easing tensions and oil supply should be back in the market, the way I see it. So prices should drop. The point is not getting the bias on direction. The point is it's in the news. And when it's in the news, then I think, okay, we could possibly get a breakout. So these are the tickers I've been focused on in the last 2 hours or so. And so far, so good. Anyways, that's it. That's all I'm really looking at. Not to say other things can't make a move. We have the SPY here. You know, it can easily move. It's already moved nicely. But I'm just exploring this idea of beyond just trading price action, which you guys have seen me do so many times, just to get a little more conviction on catching breakouts. And so looking at catalysts, very simple, just news headlines. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. This is the CNBC website I'm looking at. Very simple. I just kind of go down this list over here. Just read the headlines. It hardly takes 30 seconds, and it tells me which tickers to look at. So nice and easy 80-20 way of looking at things. So for now, yeah, let's see. We got the Qs here. So on this one, so we got a few minutes to the open. You got the obvious resistance there. As it broke that resistance, that's when I got involved. Stopped below it. It's gone in my favor, especially up to the next resistance area, and that's when I moved it into break even. So that's break even. The targets are up in this area. And on the oil situation, these are all 30-minute charts, by the way. On oil, let's see, what do we have? Look at this thing. It's been going down, and here you have support. This was support. It broke out, pulled back up to it, retest of this previous breakout, and there's a short on the new low. Let's stop right below it. Sorry, right above it, and going into the target. This one's the key area, I think, right down here. And I'll try and tighten this up. So that's it. Just break and retest on this one. And MNQ is just a breakout. Nice and simple. So yeah, an easy way to trade. Trying to keep it very simple. I'm just bringing in this whole thing of paying attention to CNBC headlines as I trade, rather than looking at every ticker here and just anything that sets up, just jump into it. Well, I don't think I really want to do that. So that's what I've got. Anything on your minds, guys? Anything you want to discuss before we get into this open and have some fun with it? To put in some range orders here. This is likely to get bumpy at the open. Got 100 contracts, let's go 25 at a time. So there's the stop, sell, stop. Put one target up here, that's pretty obvious. So these are all range orders, and I'm just putting them in here. Right click there and sell, stop market there. These are 25 more and put it up here, this one. That makes sense. Sell market if touched. These orders are linked. OCO, that's what it says, OC here. So it's the platform is in OCO mode. If you want to talk about this, let me know. We can get through it. let's see, still got two more of these. Stop market, and right there, that looks like resistance. Let's put it up there. And one more. Stop market, and it looks like we got it all covered. Let's see. It's already up there. I just stick it up in this area. It might even break out and go through, so let's just leave it just a little above. Let's see what happens. Move it later. All right, there you go. So got the position. It's totally de-risked, and the orders are all in place. I don't have to look at it. Don't have to do anything. It's a nice way to trade, huh? Let's put this all in one place. Again, 30-minute charts. This is the stuff I've been working on, trying to trade these futures contracts on a 30-minute chart, going slow and making it work. If I can do this consistently, then I'll go live. So far recently, I haven't been convinced with the results. They've been kind of so-so, not what I would call truly profitable. Lots of break-even stuff, lots of break-even trades, too many. Can't really go risk money on that kind of result. Anyways, what else are you guys looking at? Anyone got anything to discuss, anything to share? You want to share a screen? Feel free to do so. We can look at it. With the oil stuff, let's see, I'll put 50 contracts at a time. Again, this is all sim, so I'm trying to get a good hang of this stuff. Buy stop there. That's the target area. And in the same place. Let's put it further down if it wants to go. There you go. Range orders in here, so I'll be looking at this to go down. Anyways, for all those of you who have not traded anything yet, looks like the Qs are likely to be on the move today. So take a look at that. Again, everything in the Qs. You have all the semiconductor stuff, NVIDIA, all that NASDAQ stuff that you guys know so well. What do you got here? Evo. You're watching the usuals. Oh yeah. Tesla, AMD, RGTI, and INTC. All right, there you go. Fun to watch, huh? Let's see if anything else came out on the news. For me to look at any of these other contracts. Silver is a contract that I'm really interested in. I want to figure out a consistent way to trade that, and I'll just get right into it. All right. Jim Cramer's top 10 things to watch. There you go. Yeah, oil markets volatile. You see, oil is in the news everywhere. This is just 30 minutes ago. Gold prices dropped in Dubai, apparently, and that's in CNBC. Moving on. Anyways. Oh, the market is open. Cool. Let's get into this. There you go. So let's get rid of these. That's that. Already a bit of a drop, but overall, you're seeing the Qs have been very positive. So I would not think so much about taking a short. You're looking at a reversal if you're looking at a short. Sure enough, I think it's in an area where there is resistance. It could go down, but it's better to go with the trend. And if you're catching reversals, I'd say let it reverse and catch it later. The continuation of the reversal. And all right, there we go. We can look at this. Yep, firm resistance. You can see where it dropped and then rejected. And so far, this candle's holding there. But I think all this weakness is, again, short-term stuff, small trades. The bigger trend looks to be upward. But again, if you guys like trading the open, you already have a range well defined. You can literally use the second candle here, the top and bottom. That gives you the opening range already. You can see how the price has already been stuck in it. So then breakout down or up. Ideally, I would think of a breakout up for an ORB because of the bigger trend going upwards. So that's there for the open. And I'm sure a lot of the other semiconductor stuff is doing similar things, similar price action. AMD going strong, good. Evo, looking at AMD. AMDL, so that's the leveraged version of AMD. Look at TS. Was it TSM? Gosh, I keep losing these tickers. What did I say that ticker was? I lost it. Taiwan Semiconductors. Seems like that one's in play.
TSMC.
TSMC. Thank you. There you go. TSMC. Again, for you guys who like to trade the open, all that volatility, looks like that one's got a lot of action. All right, here, the oil market, yeah, just sitting there so far. Can't really go and scalp oil at the open, can you? I wouldn't even try. Just leave it on this 30-minute picture and de-risk it. These orders in the same place. So this is good. Again, by looking at the news, it's just telling me which of these futures tickers to look at. Filters it out. This makes it simple, and it's only a 30-second workflow. So it makes it easier, I think. Whatever makes things simpler, I tend to bring that on. Oxy, what's going on with Oxy, Eva? Oil seems to
I know
dropping.
there's talk of oil, people trading oil. And I remember back in the day trading Oxy, but I haven't touched it probably in over a year.
Yeah, it was in play. If I remember correctly, there was a lot of news of Warren Buffett investing in it. And then there was news with the oil market. We had the contango situation during COVID, all that stuff. It was heavily in play because it was the only oil ticker that was actually liquid. For day trading purposes, you could get into it. But I don't know if there's any news on it now. Well, the whole oil market is on the move because of geopolitical tensions and all the good stuff. So there we go. Now this is interesting. You want trade management? Look at broken new low, right? And if it comes back up, well, it's telling me buyers are very firm down there, and I don't want to be part of that. So I'm in the short now. I can bring in the risk. Take that stop, bring it in, just about close to break even. Does that make sense? Yeah, still got plenty of room in it. So while it was up here above these lows, I was not moving it in. Once it breaks it, now I'd say it's in a different area compared to where I entered. It was in this zone, now it's in this zone. So now no big deal bringing it into break even, or close to it at least. And let's see what happens. Ideally it continues down. There you go. So 2 positions, both de-risked. Now it's all just risk-free money. And let's see these Qs. Okay, that's one's going back to my break even. So even if it gets me, no big deal because it's risk-free. And for you open traders, here you have it. You had that weakness at the open. It turned into a reverse ABCD, that ORB going down. You would have scalped it. Maybe got into it a minute ago and taken a few partials down in this area, or at least as it went in your favor a little bit. Like I said, I think the bigger picture is to the upside. The catalyst is there. I'm not going to guess a direction based on catalyst. I'm just using the catalyst to see that it's on the move, and then use candlesticks to tell me which direction it's going. And this is pretty obviously upwards. Again, the key point here for me was this resistance earlier, a few hours ago, and then the breakout is the entry. So simple ways to trade. You don't need to overcomplicate it. And that's just what I'm working on these days. Keeping it very simple and slow. Let's look at this, the SPY, same idea. This is natural gas. Now, natural gas made a big move yesterday, and I couldn't find any specific news that made it go. So this is going to happen too. If you're relying on news, you're going to realize, well, there's things going to happen without you knowing, price action-wise. So that's going down as well. There's a lot of talk about natural gas being correlated with oil. I get that, but since the shale revolution of 2009, it's been decoupled, I think. I read a few things about that, so I'm not going to correlate natural gas and oil markets. I don't think it makes sense. Gold is in this chop zone again. If you look at this price action here, doesn't have to be gold, but whatever you're looking at, if it looks like this, as in prices right here, you look to the left and it's just been choppy. It's not really a place you want to play with it, right? Just don't want to. Silver, similar idea, cleaner, but still. Again, I don't see any news that seems to want to make it go. Dow Jones, look at that. That thing broke out. I have not seen news that would make me look at this, but let's see. I don't see anything here. If you guys see anything, let me know. Stocks making the biggest moves. Yeah, Taiwan Semiconductor and BlackRock. Okay, we got that one. Yeah, I don't see it. Anyways, we discussed this, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, that this is a tricky one to trade. Dow Jones kind of jumps, so be careful with that. This is a Russell 2000. Wow, wants to go. What's interesting is looks like, yeah, the Qs have been going down and this Russell 2000 and Dow Jones have been going up. If you guys like correlations, I don't. So let's see what happens. This is crypto. Yeah, this is FX, euro dollar. That one made a move. This is unusual. Lots of news in Europe anyway. All right, anyone know what's going on with the Greenland thing? Why does the United States want to invade and take over Greenland? Oh, there we go. I got stopped at a break even on this MNQ. So no risk. That was done. I'm only in this position here in oil. Anyone knows what's going on with Greenland? I feel like I've been hearing it for the last 1 year.
Yeah, I think I do.
What's going on there?
Well, from a military defense perspective, the Arctic is high interest for Russians and Chinese. And with the melting of the polar ice cap, it opens up a lot of navigation lanes for their Navy to encroach on Greenland. Greenland has no defensive capability whatsoever. Neither does Denmark. And the intelligence community is looking at China setting up bases similar to what they did in the South China Seas in the early 2000s, building artificial ports and airports as well. So for the United States to let that happen puts us in a vulnerable position.
Okay.
And that's the end of the story.
Okay, wow, fantastic. Thank you for that. I'm sure you have the experience from the military and also you would know these things. That makes a lot of sense. Wow. Because I saw it in the news, I think yesterday, Trump was saying nothing less than complete control of Greenland is acceptable. So, wow, very interesting situation. Well, it's causing a lot of issues in the market. Well, a lot of movements in the market. But good to know. Thanks for the rundown on that. Greenland. See, I wouldn't have even guessed it. Cool. So when we have turmoil in the world, typically precious metals, commodities, energy, all that stuff goes up. So longer term thinking, investment wise, seems like a decent time to get into those sorts of things. I've been invested in that sort of thing anyway for a long time, but it might be time to add some. What do we got? Dan, you're looking at SLV. Yeah, that's silver, or was it an ETF that tracks the price of silver, I believe? Should be pretty close to what's going on here in SIL, which is a silver futures. And yeah, I don't see much to trade on this at the moment. Here's the MNQ. So I was in this, and where did I get in? Got in, it got to my entry point, got me out at break even and bounced straight from there. So my entry was just about at the bottom here and came and got me. Now on a 1 minute picture, what do you guys think? How would you solve this little puzzle? You have this consolidation with a pretty good resistance, then you have the breakout. Are you looking at this as it's coming down and bouncing off a retest of the previous breakout? Or are you looking at this 1 minute chart and thinking this is very weak and even put a bearish wick and you go short with this? What do you all think? A little puzzle here. Anyone? You're too busy over trading, huh? All of you. Well, my thinking is it's long because I'm thinking on this picture. Very simple. I'm not going to trade the 1 minute chart. Just not interested in that. So anyways, let's see what happens. There's resistance overhead. I know that for sure. The breakout happened here, but it pushed right back in. Now to get in again, knowing that the resistance is being respected. Well, I'm not sure I'm in the right place to get into it. What makes more sense is actually if it gets up to these highs up here, puts in a consolidation for a breakout. That could happen today or any day. And whenever that happens, I think that'll be more interesting than trying to re-enter an overtrade. Meanwhile, the oil thing, yeah, went down, finding buyers down here. And let's see, we got this seller at the top of this wick. I'm going to bring this into a little better than break even. It's going to be there. Just a little bit. Where is it? Right there. So just above this bearish wick here. So if the sellers, think about this, if the sellers over here get overwhelmed, well, I don't want to be in it. So this one's also at risk free. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, no big deal. That's it. So you're thinking short on the Qs, on the Q, yeah. Over here. Look, it went the other way. Thinking short. Sure enough, it did bounce, retest, and bounce. Yeah, breakout. Here's your retest. 30-minute picture. Again, a lot less fake outs. This is what I mean by not trusting the 1 minute picture. This looked bearish. I mean, after this candle closed, you're just thinking bearish because it's purely bearish activity all the way down from the open. But it's that bigger picture that tells me it's long. That's why I don't want this 1 minute chart. This would have been a big fake out. And off we go.
Avi, when I see those candles, I think this 1 minute chart you're looking at right now, the last red candle with the large upper wick, I normally see that. I mean, people can view that as like a lot of selling pressure, but I view that as a test. The market's testing interest, future interest. And so when I see a candle like that, I think they're testing and they're going to bring it up, just not yet. They want to trap people so they can grab your shares and then buy them at a cheaper discount before they run it up. What do you think?
I think if I think so much, my brain will hurt. But no, that's great. I like it. I like it. If that works for you, thinking like that gets you into good positions, then sure enough, use it. And it makes sense. As it turns out in this situation, it aligns with what I'm thinking, which is it's long because of the bigger picture on the 30-minute. But I don't have any proof of how these things operate with the market makers moving it down, testing you, and taking you out for cheaper. All that. I mean, there's a million different theories out there. We can sit here and tell stories all day, but I don't know how that works with facts, you know. But again, if that's an effective way of thinking for your trading, if it's working for you, fantastic. Roll with it. The contrary, basically, we're going the opposite of what we learn in the candlesticks books. So hey, it's all good.
It just depends where it occurs on the chart. If it's at a liquidity level, a key level, I think it means one thing versus down below. But anyways, yeah, reading in the tea leaves.
All right. That makes sense. Knowing where to look at it. That's also a key point. Again, levels. Levels are very useful. Look to the left and find levels, right? So you can find these levels overhead. You got resistance. So that's what I was saying earlier as well. If it gets up there and sets up to break out, then off we go. Could be fast. Levels are good. Tells you where to look at it. Cool. Good stuff. So we have this thing dropped and sure enough came back to the opening high, even popped up above it a little bit. This is all after it's been positive overnight. This is all telling me you may well have a breakout up here on a 1 minute perspective. Again, all thinking bullish, not bearish. So I just wait for it again. You guys have seen me trade like this previously last year on the 1 minute chart, looking at the 30-minute picture, finding the bullish trend, and then wait for the ORB on the 1 minute going with options. So wait for it. If it happens here, I think that'll be a good one. Not happening now, obviously. It's going to take a little bit, looks like. What's happening here? Yeah, the oil market's going to, just go slow. Let it sit. All right. Anyone catch anything fun? I had a lot of moves. AMD and TMPSMC. Oh gosh. And the Qs, of course. What happened with the S&P? There it is. Same idea. There's the 1 minute on this one. This is the ES or MES, basically the following the price action of the SPY. Positive, come down and bounce off again. A little more messy though. And this is actually telling you a lot right here. This is not a place to touch it. It's got teeth, right? It's got wicks on both sides, and the candles are overlapping, going sideways. Don't touch this until it exits this area where it's got teeth and wants to bite you. And this is 90% of trading. Don't touch it. Let's see if anything else came out. Oh yeah, anyone know if any announcements coming up today? That's something I have not looked at. Any numbers, economic releases, anything of that nature? Speeches? What do we got? 17 minutes ago. Something about jobs. Nah, nothing. Nothing important. So that's an easy way to go. Use the CNBC app on your phone as an alert service. Anytime some serious news comes out, it should buzz. You look at the headline, and within 2 seconds, you can figure out whether it's worth looking at a ticker for that or not. And this market's open 23 hours, the futures market. And off you go. But silver does have my attention. It has for a few days already. Yeah, see it put in these higher lows and then breakout. So price action wise, it was there. Bit of a consolidation down here and then breakout. And now it's putting in higher lows again, higher from previous lows. So, and just made a new high, broke out on these two little wicks. These are all interesting bits of price action. So everything overall, bigger picture, positive. But of course, if you catch the sharp moves to the downside, there's money to be made for short-term trading, scalping. So over here, you could see there's a high there, then a lower high, and there's your support. And as it breaks down through support, you may find an entry. I wouldn't find it on a 30-minute, but on a smaller time frame, if that's your level, where that previous support was that low, which was also a bounce off previous resistance, and you got that one. That was fun. So the moves to the downside tend to be faster and sharper, and the upside tend to be smoother and slower. What do you prefer? Nothing going on here. And yeah, so this is, again, it's very interesting. Natural gas. You can see what happened here. And, this price action, let's go back to it, is, you can apply it to anything really. But you can see here where it gapped up, obviously some news, and it gave you a very obvious range. You got the top and the bottom right on that first candle. And sure enough, the bottom basically held, slightly lower lows. And then you got the top there. And because of the gap up, you're going in with a bullish bias as it breaks that pre-market consolidation, which the top is here. Then you get into a scalp going upwards. And that did happen a little later in the day. Pretty clean, you can see that. As it pushed up, higher lows, got into the resistance, consolidation, 3-bar play, and off you go. And this price action, all you scalpers traded this, right? You keep trading this. I traded this for years on Tesla and Apple and all of that stuff. It's all there. And for targets, you just look to the left. You have obvious resistance in this area up here. Sure enough, that's as far as it went. Since then, it looks like it's been in play. I have pulled back, and look at this. There's your long tail hammer, if you like such things. Very bullish. Here's your consolidation. From the consolidation, it pulled out this long tail hammer, room to the left. The new highs are entering again. Go. This is all very good price action, as in simple to read, right? And again, I'm just looking at this natural gas candlestick, but it applies to everything. I don't read candlesticks differently just because I'm in the futures market now. It's the same as what I've always done. So anytime I find gappers, this is what this is good to look at. Big hammer, ABCD. This one made sense. And again, sure enough, it went as far as it as expected to go. Previous resistance. Big consolidation, and then the breakdown. This was a good one. Find ways to catch these moves. If you can do that, then you'll find trading is simpler. You don't jump into things. You find 2 or 3 trades a week. Might take a couple of attempts to get into them, but then they work. That's that. Fun, huh? Oh yeah, guys, for those of you who don't know, we have the webinar today at 11 a.m. And it's going to be on investing. One of our guys in here, Jill, he's got 30 years of experience with this stuff. And basically, what do you do with all your money after you've made it from day trading, right? Or wherever your income is. What do you do with it? Financial intelligence, all that fun stuff. So that's going to be a good one. Something a little different than what we've done previously. So make sure there. Today, 11 in this room, we'll be here. It's going to be fun. All right, MNQ, what is this thing doing? Breakout still looks like it did that bounce off from where I entered. Yeah, so on the 1 minute, yeah, look at that, a lower low, huh? Wow. So if I'm going in with a picture that it's bullish on a 30-minute, and then if I'm trading the 1 minute, I'm also looking for a bullish setup, and everything here is telling me it's bearish so far. It's bearish off the open, rejected the opening high, and then made a new low just recently. So far, nothing telling me to go long anywhere here. So if I was trading this 1 minute chart, I wouldn't look at it. I wouldn't trade it. I'd just look at it. On the 30-minute, if you identify the retest down here, maybe there's an entry, but not for how I like to do things. Not at the moment. But this is in play, the NASDAQ. That's for sure. Cool. Anyone got some good trades going, or even not good ones? Any comments? Anything you want to look at? You want to share your screen? I'll look at it. So I've just got these tickers on. And look at that. This is not crashing today. Ninja crashed on me a couple of days ago, right? No crash. All right. This thing doesn't want to go, the oil thing. Just wants to sit there. And let's see. What else we got here? Wow, look at that. TSMC's profit jumps 35% for this quarter, this last quarter. That's massive. No wonder that's in play. You guys looking at TSMC? I'm not looking at it. I don't have it on this platform, but let's see. We can look at it here. And then pull this up. It'll be worth looking at because it's on the move. Whoop. Oh, it's really strange. Can't seem to get the price action here. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Taiwan Semiconductor ADR. No, not the ADR. That's one. There we go. That should work better. Nope, that's not it. Oh, well, I can't seem to get it. Anyways, if you guys have it, you want to look at it, we can do that. All right. So there you go. Trading is boring. That's when it's profitable. At least this is the way I like to do it. So I put on 2 positions. One got out at break even. This one is on the stops at break even. And we'll see. Yeah, the way I'm trying to do things is if something pops up in the news, then I'll look at the relevant ticker in the futures market. And if there's a setup on there, then I can get into it. And the setup I'm looking for is a simple one. Like I said, it's just a breakout. So a good consolidation leading to the breakout and then a breakout. And breakouts are more likely to happen when you have a catalyst. That's the only reason I'm really looking at it. So moving away a little bit from what I've done previously, one of the reasons for this is actually to help slow it down even more, take less trades, but more higher conviction setups. Just knowing that there's a reason for this thing to move away from where it is right now. And actually, the philosophy is not too different from what a lot of people do with day trading, right? You're looking for tickers with the news on them, and you go do the scalping stuff. You know, I'll tell you what, how that works is it's really cool in the investing world as well. And I've been doing that longer than I've been trading. We have this whole thing of it's not so much you want to pick a ticker and invest in it. You want to look at the industry. What are the tailwinds in that industry? Is it on the move? Is it, does it have a tailwind? Does it look like it's taken a larger market share? Like we had, what did we have? We had digital cameras, and then smartphones came out, and Kodak is out of business, basically. Things like that. So, smartphones coming out, basically. Now you have that whole industry, whole thing took off, right? So those are tailwinds, and in that, then you pick a basket of tickers and invest in them. I mean, I can tell you another one like that. It's actually in Dubai in the last 20, 25 years, really, basically since 9/11. The real estate market here has been crazy. It's been insane. And a lot of people have made a lot of money just by being in the business because of the tailwinds they're making money. Not that they're doing anything special in the real estate business, just simply being there, not being stupid. You make millions and millions of dollars. Lots of people have made money here in the last 25 years just on that. So again, you're looking at tailwinds on the bigger picture. So bringing that mindset into what I'm trying to do here with trading, I'm looking at tailwinds for something to want to move. And that's where this news thing comes in. And so far today, the oil and the Qs is what I found. So it's got tailwinds in it, so there's a better likelihood of it moving, or at least making a decent breakout. That's the philosophy. That's the thinking behind it. So it makes it simple, really. Again, just making it easier rather than looking for the 5 different setups that I have on these 8 different tickers. I just go straight to the news first, look at that, and then go to the one ticker that is relevant to that news, and then see if there's a breakout setup there. It's actually a very simple flow. Again, it's nothing different than what most day traders do when they want to scalp and look for tickers to scalp at the open. I'm just doing it on a bigger perspective here, bigger picture. That's all there is with this. And you know what happened here? This thing, yes, the Qs. Yeah, so far it did do the breakout when I read the news a few hours ago, and that breakout happened here. Got out at break even, so it's sitting there now. For now. Look at this again. Now it's put in a lower high, right? So again, it's still telling you lots of bearish activity. But overall, choppy. The fun would be is if it prints a lower low beyond the previous low, then you got something. Now you may start believing in this thing going down. For now, it's stuck up here. But again, seriously, it's more than anything else. It's choppy. You don't want to think too much. And then catching these choppy trends, you don't want to do it. There are such things. And this is even worse. This is the MES contracts. Much worse.
Avi, I find by moving to a larger time frame that helps me to keep out of the chop.
There you go. Brilliant.
No more 1 minute madness for me. But if you could trade it well, I envy you. Then my job would be done in 5 minutes.
Well said. That's absolutely true. You avoid the chop with the bigger time frames. And I'll tell you what, if you are talking about getting your job done in 5 minutes, I'll be honest with you, I get my job done in about 30 seconds, and I do it on a much bigger picture than looking at a 1 minute chart, because it only takes 30 seconds, really. So look at the headline, look at the relevant ticker, and see if there's a setup or not. If there's a setup, all right, put it on. If it's not there, maybe put an alert on the chart. If the price gets to that point, then look at it. The whole thing doesn't take very long. And then, you can even automate it in most platforms. Like here in Ninja, you just automate it. If it goes a certain distance in your favor, it moves the stop to break even, leaves the targets in place, and you really don't have to look at it. So there's the other way of getting your work done quick. But yes, getting the biggest thing about 1 minute charts is not getting stuck in the chop, not getting stuck in the noise, not getting stuck in all of that nonsense that we've seen so much. So yeah, you guys want to get bigger with your trading, smoother with it, less stressed out about it, bigger time frames. I'm telling you, it's worked for me consistently for so long. Now that I'm working on the futures market, trying to find a way to trade it effectively, I'm really just looking at the bigger time frames, and I'm looking at bigger things like the tailwinds in the sector, like things on the news, and see if I want to get into it and hold it for 20 hours, something like that. Makes trading simple. When it can be simple, why would you complicate it? Unless you enjoy all the drama. Personally, I don't like drama, especially when I got money on the line. All right, I think I'm getting tired of my own voice. Who's got something to say? You guys got me talking all the time. Look at this thing. Put in a giant candle there. Now here's a good one, though. If you guys were interested to trade this price action, forget that it's natural gas, but whatever it is. Do you guys see this as a long, as a reversal down here? Consider you had a level. You do have a level here. And it came down and put in this reversal pattern. Do you think it's a reversal pattern? Do you think it's a setup for turning around, going up? What do you guys think, pattern-wise?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we got one yes. Anyone else? Yeah, now we got a few guys coming in with yes. All right. Fair enough, I can see it. But as far as the naked trading setups are concerned with these reversals, this hammer, it happened, it's a good solid hammer, long tail, room to the left, happening at a level, but it happened after a giant candle going down, immediately after. That makes it not trustworthy. And this is straight out of the naked trading book. It's exactly what's written in there. And I've been using it, and it saved me from a lot of messy situations. If it came down and it did this kind of price action where there were a few small candles or even just one small candle, and then it put in this long tail hammer here, then I'd be interested for the long, for the reversal. This could easily fake out. Of course, it could easily go as well. But the success rate on something like this is not so great. You just want to be a little careful with this stuff. Little detail would, get you into trouble.
Okay, I'll change my answer to no.
Alrighty. Yes, you can change your answer as many times as you want. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not really looking at reversals these days. I would just look at breakouts. I don't see any setup here. This is not even in play the way I see it. So what else we got here? What am I in? I'm in this oil thing. Oh, here we go. Look at that. In the oil thing now, this is fun. We were just talking about the reversal. Look at this. This thing came down, put in some small candles, then it put in the really long tail hammer with room to the left. And ideally, you want that to happen at a level. It's happening in a bit of a chop zone. You could call it a level if you want to call this lower level right there. And this is a little more trustworthy than the previous one we saw, just because it put in a few small candles before it put in the long tail hammer with room to the left. But overall, I mean, it's still a downtrend. Reversals are tricky, but this is more trustworthy as far as price patterns are concerned, or setup for a reversal is concerned. This is something I like to do. Much, much better. All right, what do we got here? MES, what was it? MNQ. So far, the Qs still looking choppy and bearish. Choppy and bearish at the same time. Grinding lower is what it is. not working with the bigger picture I had in mind because of this bigger trend. So let's see. Anyone catching it going down? I don't even know how to catch this. This is so messy. My goodness. It's breaking the low, but without conviction. Had a low, then broke it, just made a new low, but again, going up. And again, here's where there's simple ways, I think, to avoid getting stuck in these breakouts. If you're thinking, here's the low of day, and you want to enter at the break of low of day for going down, well, this is not a good setup to enter because it didn't do a nice tight little consolidation before it broke that low of day right here. It just went down. And in this case, when it goes fast one way, it's likely to go fast the other way. It happens a lot. This is with the option stuff. I really learned that the hard way. So it's not a setup here. Now in this case here, where it looks like it broke the low down here, it did a consolidation up here before it broke the low. But again, it's not an ideal consolidation. You don't have these lower highs. And also the consolidation is up here. You want it to be down here, ideally, against the previous low. And then the breakdown, basically a descending wedge. Those are good setups. So you want to be careful. Just these, again, price pattern details, just a few little details, keep you away from a couple of stop outs. Like over here, you would have had a couple of stop outs. Things to think about when you're trading with just candlesticks. So I'd be careful with this stuff.
When I see a lot of wicks, I don't like that. That tells me there's just a lot of volatility, and there's no exact direction. So that kind of scares me away a little bit when I see a lot of wicks in an area like that.
Yeah. I'm with you 100%. It's got teeth. You got wicks everywhere. It tells you don't touch it. And these aren't really consistent wicks. I mean, there's wicks on both sides. Let's find an example where we can see consistent wicks that tells you that it's likely to go in one direction. Why am I not able to see this? Let's go back and find something that makes sense. Over here, look at this. So this was a bullish candle, and then these two right after, it's got bullish wicks. It's got wicks underneath it. It's not wicks on both sides. Right, so that's telling you about bullish activity. You can use the wicks to your advantage here. You can see even these smaller candles. There are wicks, but no bearish wicks, no selling wicks, all buying wicks over here. And then that just continues. So this is a positive signal, a sign for wicks. It's telling you the buyers are there, and if you get a breakout, maybe you can trust it. But you get a situation like, let's see, over here, you're getting wicks down here, and then you're getting a few up here. This is messy. You don't want to play with it. So paying attention to the wicks makes a lot of sense. That's something I actually learned from trading Tesla so much over the years on the 1 minute chart since 2019 until recently. That thing is amazing. You pay attention to the wicks on that price action on that ticker, and it tells you a lot. It'll tell you when not to play with it, and a lot of times it'll tell you when it's ready to go. Tesla was really where I learned it. But again, it applies to everything. Paying attention to the wicks. A lot of people like to pay attention to the tape and figure out where the buyers and sellers are. Well, the wicks are telling you the same thing. I like to wait for the candle to close, so there's a mild delay there, but you're waiting for confirmation, and I like doing that. So again, good ways to use things, different ways of using things. Okay. What do we have here? Yeah, this thing, big mess, wicks on both sides. So sorry about that. This one's even worse. This is the ES 1 minute chart. And oil is just sitting there. If I can get this to work consistently, I'll go live with it. What I did here is I risked, was it $4,000 to $5,000 per trade? I anticipate that go live. If I go live soon in the next month or so, next couple of months, I'll probably do that, risk that amount before I upsize it back to regular size. Do it for a little while. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Well, we passed 10 a.m. 12 minutes ago. Let's see if there's anything in the news, anything new. Lots of noise on the news about NATO deploying forces to Greenland. Yeah, and oil, guys. Oil is heavily in the news. Oh my goodness. Everywhere. So that's this one right here. MCL, micro oil. Good fun, huh? What happened to that TSMC? Anyone looking at it? Anyone got comments on it? Anyone trade it? Anyone brave enough to trade it? Andrea, you got a long on it. All right. Is it going up? And positive? Well, the news was positive, but you never know with the market, right? TSMC, yeah, looks like you're making money. Good. Well done, Andrea. See the screenshot later if you got it. TSMC, so that goes along with. So when I saw TSMC in the news, I went for the MNQs because it's all semiconductor stuff. So that's what got me looking at this chart. And sure enough, looks bullish. I mean, it was bullish. It did a breakout. Now it's just messy, like we keep talking about counting. And let's see if it breaks out later. Good, good. All right. You guys are putting me to sleep, huh? Well, it's supposed to be boring, but tell me a story, someone. Or I'll make up stories. Or ask questions if you're not too busy trading, over trading. Yes, it's supposed to be boring. Thank you, Joseph. Oh yes, let's all just get bored together. I think that is a good thing. Just stare at these candles and get bored till your brain goes numb. Oh man. Yes.
Hey, if you want to see something that's not boring, look at ROLR. It's High Roller Technologies. It's they had some news recently about the prediction markets, and
okay, let's look at that. ROLR, High Roller, so betting industry. Holy crap! Look at that. Here, I'll bring it in. What happened to this thing? This was yesterday, and now today, 30-minute charts. So what happened here? This was obviously a big catalyst. Something made it jump from a penny stock up to into the teens, into the 20s now. Anyone know about this? This is interesting. Well, entertaining. Oh, I could tell you something about this if you want to. I'll show you something, guys. How do you put it? Let's put the volume on this thing. Volume. Which one's volume? There we go. Okay. Got volume. Let's go into a 5-minute chart and look at yesterday. Right here. Like that. So thinking of this as a low float penny stock, dangerous stuff, right? But it had a massive catalyst down here. It gapped from what, $4, opened at about $15, $16. So a massive gap, penny stock, probably 50 million shares float or whatever. And I used to trade this stuff way back in 2021 or 2020. Yeah, 2021, I think. I spent about 6 months trading this kind of thing. And well, not even a 5-minute. I used to do it on a 1-minute. Let me show it to you on a 1-minute then. When I used to do this madness. Here we go. So this was yesterday. So it opened up here about $16. And the whole idea is the low float fallen angels setup. And that is nothing more than big gap up, wait for it to drop at the open. Okay, it's gonna drop. And if it doesn't drop, just goes and leave it alone. But you wait for it to drop. And when it drops, then you're looking for a massive volume spike. Once the drop stabilizes, which seems to happen in this area, you're looking for a massive volume spike with a push up. And if you look at it like here, you can see on this candle, big green candle, and a spike in the volume. Not massive, but bigger than previously. I would have been tempted to enter during this candle with a stop down here and then just looking at round numbers overhead as it goes. So 20, and then maybe 25, and just run with this thing for 10 minutes. Go through probably 2 halts. After the second halt, you definitely close it. Don't go for a third. And I used to trade it. So this thing, I would have survived it. Would have not. I probably would have exited it when it dropped here. But this is a better volume spike. Here we go. This one is one I would more likely enter, or after it. So enter there, the stop down there, and you can roll with this thing. And sure enough, slammed into 20. This looks like there was a halt, the gap in this, right? So you make profit on that. And so you enter here at 10:35. Profit's almost an hour later, a little more than an hour later, and sure enough, it gets up to that area a little bit later in the day. Pretty wild, huh? Pretty wild. A lot of times this happened quicker. I mean, in 10 minutes, you'll hit those targets or you're out. This one took a bit longer, a few hours. But again, low float, penny stock stuff. And oh, look at that. That is a setup. You see that one? Big long tail hammer. Move to the left. It's been an uptrend. Here's a consolidation. This one sticks out, and then boom, straight up from there. Happened later in the day, after 1 p.m. I never used this strategy on penny stocks before. But anyways, I did this for a while. And the reason I stopped is because for my mindset at the time, I wasn't getting enough of these every day. I was getting maybe 3 penny stocks a week. So 3 days a week, I'd maybe have an opportunity to get something. For my mindset at the time, that wasn't good enough. I needed to have like 10 opportunities every day for me to think that I'm actually trading. How silly, huh? But this was, I was actually trading this stuff when I first got the taste for 4-figure trades. Getting into $1, $2, $3, $6,000 trades. Before that, it was just a few $100 at a time. And then after that, of course, things can grow much, much bigger. But anyways, there's ways to do this stuff. You have the mindset for it, and then the patience to wait for the volume spike with the bullish activity, then get into it. Make sure you have a wide enough stop. Look for round numbers. Look for spikes, but watch every single minute of it, because you don't want to go through too many halts and then it crashes against you. So, anyways, that's the whole Fallen Angel setup on low floats. Very similar to the Fallen Angel setup we use, anyways, but a little different. Yeah, fun. Thanks, Eva. A little entertainment. That works. Back to the black and white stuff. How about that? Better? Easier? Not so exciting? Slower? Calmer? I'm still in this thing. Look at this mess. It's going to take hours to get there if it goes. Al, did I talk about gold? Not really. I'm not really looking at the gold situation, am I? What am I doing? Yeah, oh yeah, it is in play. I'm interested in it. Oh yeah, in gold, there's the price is here, and you look to the left, it's just stuck. So this whole area is not a place I want to trade it. I'd rather let it exit, break out up here. That might happen today, might happen in a few months. I have no idea. This is just not interesting. But yes, these commodities and precious metals are in the news a fair bit, I think. So there are setups here. Silver is actually more interesting to my eyes, but no setup for now. For me today, it's just been the Qs, which I took a break-even stop, and I'm in this oil position. I'm still in sim, by the way. You guys know, these aren't live trades. Still trying to figure out a consistent way to put on some really heavy risk in the futures market. I haven't figured it out yet. Just not satisfied with my recent performance in the sim. It's been, I've taken some small trades, made a few $100, a few $1,000 here and there, but still hitting a lot of break-evens, some not so good setups I get into. And also there's the whole thing of trading this longer time frame, this 23-hour market. I want to make sure my head is in the right place for it. As in being able to put it on and also leaving it on. And also I got to understand the subtle differences of how this market behaves when the New York session is not open. It's a lot choppier, it's a lot slower. When do I actually take the risk off, de-risk it? These are the kind of details I really want to nail down before I start putting real big risk on these things and go live. So for now, that's why I'm in the sim, just trying to figure these things out.
Hey, Avi, what kind of sample set are you looking for in your simulated trading before you go live? Do you kind of have a general number?
I don't. I actually don't. At this point, I'm oddly enough, more than anything else, I'm just going with instinct and just looking at recent performance. The sim account, I've It's sitting flat basically. So just looking at that, I'm not really looking at much else. So if I have, let's say, a whole month of where looks like the trades were consistent, as in I was able to take small stops and big runners consistently. It might be 50 trades in the month. It might be 100. I don't know. Then maybe I'll start going live after that. So I don't have a target in mind at the moment of when I'm going to go live as a time frame or a number of trades. Right now, I just know I haven't got this under control. So that's why I'm not going to do it. And for me, under control means, can I go and risk $50,000 on a single trade? To me, I need to have the confidence to do that. At that point, when I'm risking those kinds of numbers, for me, it's like I need to have the confidence for it more than statistics. And so at the moment with this instrument and with this whole new style of trading, I still got to build it out. So I'm in that process. And again, it could happen in a month. It could happen all year. It could take the whole year this year of sim trading. I don't know. I'm open to it. It's not a big deal. In the bigger picture, it's really nothing because, like I said, I've been in trading since 2019, coming up on 6 years now, and I intend to be here for another 30-40 years. So what if I take 1 year to go and build a way of trading that can be enormous moving forward? 1 year is nothing in the grand scheme of things. So I'm taking the time to do it. It's still in the very early days of my trading journey. It's hardly even been 10 years, not even there yet. So just thinking bigger, taking the time that you need to get it all sorted out. I think that's really important. It took me 4 years to get into the serious options trading that you guys saw me do last year. 4 years of trading all kinds of things before I hit that level of trading. And, so what if this takes a little time? I think it's all right. I think it's worth it. It's totally worth it. I can see the potential here in the futures market. It's enormous. It's massive. And I just like the slow nature of it. I don't have to show up at the open to trade. I show up here mainly to talk to you guys. I hardly put on risk in these situations at the open, and yeah, easier. Let's figure this out. Nice and slow. Yeah, and those of you who made it to our little candlelight session yesterday, was it? Wednesday? Yeah, that was fun. Make sure you come to that again. We'll do that on Fridays. Well, for me, Friday morning. For you guys in North America, that's Thursday night. It's in our calendar. Those are great because we get into some much more in-depth conversations because none of you are busy trading. I'm the only one trading actually at the time. And anyways, I'm in the sim these days. So to come to those are really good. We can get into all kinds of stuff. Questions that you cannot ask in here because it might be too long-winded. You can ask in that environment. It's totally different. Everyone seems to be in a different mood during those sessions. And they're all recorded, of course. So try and make it to those. We'll be doing that again in about 12 hours. So tomorrow morning for me, like for most of you. That's a good one. Try and make it. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing those twice a week. And on those days that I'm doing those sessions, I'm not showing up to trade live here. So 3 days a week I'm here with you all, trading the open. And twice a week there. And then we got a couple of webinars. Thursdays, usually we have webinars. We have one today in 30 minutes. Yeah, just about 30 minutes. So make sure you're here in this room for that. That's going to be good. And then next week, we got another one settled, already sorted out. And that's that. Good stuff. Anyone got any questions before we close out this session? Everyone good to go? You know what you're doing? How to trade slow, how to get bored. It's an art. Getting bored is a real art.
So, Avi, is your candle session tonight?
Yes, for you, it would be tonight in the United States. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so twice a week we're doing that. For me, that's 6:30 in the morning. And then 6:30 in the evening, we have this session 3 times a week for now. And let's build it out further, see what we can do. Cool. Evo, you can't make it? Yes, it is being recorded. All these sessions are recorded because we discuss things and people love to review them. And even after the recordings, I try and shorten it into some various clips, make it short, more digestible videos and put those out there so it's easier for you guys to look at. And yeah, try and do that most days. Cool. All right, if you guys know what you're doing, you're all good, then I'll take your leave. Give you all a little break. We'll be here in 30 minutes. Jill will be presenting. doing this webinar on investing and various good things. So please show up for this. It's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you're trading smart, trading well. Take it easy, and I will talk to you all soon again. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Avi.